Oh. Kill him! Kill him now! Oh god. Oh god. Oh, that is... Oh. Well, there's a cut right here. Oh my god. Hello YouTube, Jared here. Welcome back to Games Done Slow and Bad, where we play games slowly and often badly. Here today, we are going to jump into another game that I grew up with. Released in May of 1996 for North America, Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars was made by Square, who would later merge with Enix to make a real big powerhouse RPG game maker. And this game, let me tell you, set the bar for so many Mario titles that were yet to come. The entire turn-based Mario concept stems from this game. Spiritual successors such as Paper Mario and Mario & Luigi draw direct influences from this game, and this represents the capstone of the Super NES system. It pushed the hardware, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10 to an 11. It required a different chipset than what was historically available to Super NES games. It's one of only, I believe, 7 games in North America released with that advanced chipset. With a diverse soundtrack, a groundbreaking attempt at 3 dimensions that you're sort of seeing going on in this preview, and some really cool characters who in some cases only showed up once. This game is everything that was great about the Super NES, and it is entirely fitting that this represented the, you know, pinnacle of the Super Nintendo system. So here's some fun facts. This game sold 1.5 million copies in Japan. They loved Mario, and RPGs were a huge hit in Japan. So it's no surprise that this was the case. In the US, it's only sold 700,000 units. Oh, for some of you, this is going to be your first time seeing this game, and I'm really excited to share it with you. You're seeing some of the footage as we roll through the intro right now, and you'll see some common characters, and I hope that makes you excited. But this isn't really a game about Mario going after King Bowser. This is really an in-depth RPG game that invented new characters for the purposes of telling a compelling Mario story that was different from the traditional rescue the princess from Bowser's castle. You'll see, you know, your Birdos, you'll see your Goombas, you'll see some Shy Guys, and that's all cool, and it gives the game a lot of good flavor. But something to remember is that Mario games at this time were all pretty groundbreaking. They introduced new characters and new concepts as a general rule. This game is no different. We're going to see some cool stuff that sometimes never even made it into another game, and I hope you're excited for that. We're going to let the rest of the credits roll, or the intro roll through, and then we'll jump into the game. I have to stop just for 1 second. This level that they're showing later in the game, one of my personal favorites. And just sit back and appreciate that music. And remember that this was not the N64. Here we go. The payoff. Amazing. So for those of you unfamiliar with the game, your typical Mario screen, this is one I was playing around with when I first got the Super Nintendo Classic. I have not made it tremendously far into this game. We're going to start a new game. I mean, if your name is not Mario, there's a problem with you, personally. So you have to remember at the time, 1996, this is pretty much as the Super NES was reaching the end of its life cycle. The system was not able to keep up with the rigors of the games they were trying to create, and the Nintendo 64 was right around the corner. And with it, Super Mario 64, widely considered really a pioneering game. So with that in mind, this was challenging the introduction N64 titles. You'll see that it is not quite an N64 game, but it's on point. And it still holds the test of time. It's very playable. So Mario is sort of three-dimensionally, can move up, left, right, behind things, which is sort of a newer concept. And we're in Bowser's Castle, so the traditional beginning. Here, you're going to see the main difference. If you avoided all those enemies when you started, your approach was something tremendously different than what you're used to. An A, B, X, Y sort of RPG setup. If you're a Final Fantasy player, this sort of thing is not unusual to you. You have a special, sort of magic type attack, you have a basic attack, you have items, you have the ability to defend. This game also has timed hits, which we'll hit on in a little bit. That nice payoff sound means that you got the timed hit. You can also do a timed defense. Oh, missed that one. So when he's ducking like that, it's a timed defense, and against a normal enemy, it will reduce the attack. Alright, so traditional lava bridge. And here we go. So, the game is intelligently basically telling you, hey, you can't go back, don't worry about it. So here we go. That music. Don't let Bowser bruise you, Mario. Mario, prepare yourself for the great beyond. So, Bowser does speak in this one. His voice acting is essentially him growling, but they'll give him text over it, which is sort of interesting. So you can select different enemies, which I guess is worth showing you. So in this case, the battle really wants you to attack the basically Chain Chomp behind it, holding the chandelier, not Bowser. You can hit Bowser forever, and it's not really going to do much. Toadstool, Mario, the chain. Aim for the chain. So, if you're playing this game and you're confused and you don't know what to do, you don't realize you can switch between, it's basically telling you, hey, moron, there's a chain right there, hit the freaking chain. So that's a special attack, a jump attack, and that little payoff sound means not the ching, but the sort of one-up sound meant that I got the timed attack on that. What's that sound? Well, my friend, I killed you. You're about to die. It's a chain reaction. I love puns, even as a child. So, Mario declares victory, victory symbols up, and from the great beyond, coming Mario! This was just so neat. You're so used to conceptually Mario always sort of winning at the end of the fight. This should finish you. Apparently, Bowser just had a whole bunch of hammers on him he didn't intend to use. This is another neat little thing. Bowser cried. This is pretty neat. I mean, it literally has nothing to do with the game, but Funga foiled again. So Mario does a sick jump off Bowser and goes to rescue the princess. You made me so worried. So cool. So to this point, Mario primarily has fought Bowser as an enemy. This is pretty much one of the first mainstream games where you're not fighting Bowser. Obviously, the giant angry sword that just landed in his castle is a big indicator of that. But as you see the stars fall from the heavens, Mario also falls from the heavens. And here is our ever faithful Toad, here to be doing not much for the story. And in the pipe. So here's the interesting part. We're about to go through a tutorial. And normally the tutorials come at the very, very, very beginning of the game. This game relied on you to not vomit on your shoes during that introductory series of fights and sort of have a concept of what was going on. You gotta remember at the time, RPG gaming was not nearly as popular in the United States as it was in Japan. So these were a lot of new concepts. This is a save block. We're gonna jump on him. Okay, that will be our save. Okay, we're gonna talk to Toad to progress here in a second. We can sort of walk around. There's nothing really behind there. This game has a lot of little Easter eggs that come up from time to time. We'll point them out as we go. And we're going to go back. The Toad is basically... let us... I can't remember what order I had to do this in, but apparently this. So here's... So here's basically now the game telling you what to do next. Head out, go back, and here is where the plot twists a little bit. Halt! Who goes there? A trespasser? So here's our introduction to the enemies, the Smithy Gang. They are the bosses throughout the game, and you'll fight them multiple times, which is super interesting. And out goes the bridge. This view I always found just so cool. And they definitely get the most out of that set of sprites. We'll get back to that later. Much later. So we head back to Mario's pad. As we saw the world map a little bit earlier, we see that the world is sort of a giant donut shape. Toad is in here. Alright, so here comes one cool thing about this game. So Mario is basically mute, but he interacts through basically charades. And everyone seems to understand what he's saying for the most part. So, the bridge is down, let's go inform the Chancellor. Alright, fine, let's do it. Here we go. Toad knocks me over. Oops, excuse me. Oh, that bump on your head, reduce your HP level. Okay, so here we go. Game is cleverly trying to tell me a function I need to know about. So, they're also telling me the way you restore HP is with Mushroom. Do you know how to use items? And, of course I do, or I had no idea. If you're new to the game, you can go through this whole process of actually using the item. I'm gonna go, of course I do. You're just so well-traveled and experienced, Mario. So, this is sort of the tutorial stages of the game. We'll go through this next tutorial. So, basically telling you that, hey, monsters are all over the map. Let's go over some time hits. Do you know about time hits? No, let's go through this. This will be cool. First, we'll enter a battle. That music, I love it. First, push A. Okay. Push A again to attack. It's gonna stop us. Wait a second. Hit A again here. So every move has its own sweet spot there. Good timing. When successful, your attack changes and damage increases. Hit A prior to attack 2. So you saw the damage went to 0. Every attack has a sweet spot, and it's a matter of finding that sweet spot. It's gonna have us do a special. So you see the double Mario. So this always makes your attacks more powerful, and your defenses more defensive, and your support skills more effective. So you'll also get a traditional, read up on them, okay? You'll also get a traditional RPG level up type screen at the end. Or XP screen, I guess. So the whole first set of this game is essentially chasing this toad to the Mushroom Kingdom. He gives me some mushrooms and then sends me on my way. I traditionally grind in this area to make future battles a lot lighter. I will likely grind, but I'll cut some of this out for you. As I encounter new enemies throughout this Let's Play, I will likely fast forward to those new enemies. But in between those enemies, I will probably cut it out. Maybe this first stage I'll leave in. That might be fun. Just so I can kind of go over the rules of how I'm going to play this Let's Play. This is going to be a fairly complete run, though not 100%. There's certain things in this game that are absolutely trolly. We'll likely get all the treasure chests, but we're not going to go for... there's like a jump record you can hit, and some other little sort of things like that that are just incredible time sinks that I've only ever gotten on the original cartridge, because I had no friends when I was a child, and this was my substitute for friends. Feels good to say that out loud. Alright, so like a traditional RPG, enemies can miss. You can get, I believe, criticals? Is it not critical? It's something else. Some of the special abilities will super max damage. We'll get to that later with a certain character who gets some obscene damage boosts. Alright, this is a treasure chest. Much like the question mark blocks you see in other games, you can hit them for items. Here is our second enemy, a Sky Troopa. It is a Koopa Troopa in the air. They are nuisances. They hit relatively hard. I have a hard time with their sweet spot. I don't know why. And they can take an unhealthy amount of damage. So, we get XP and coins after every battle. I guess that's worth touching on if you're not already familiar with the system. The XP will make Mario level up. The coins will allow Mario to buy items. These little flowers sometimes appear after you do a timed hit. They can increase your health. They can increase your... not increase, but I guess top up your health. They can top up your special abilities. They can give you another chance. A few other things. We'll get to those as we get to them. Block gives me coins, so I can keep jumping. It'll give me a select amount of coins. There'll be a block later in the game that gives you infinite coins at a certain point, which is hilarious. Like I said, I have a really hard time with these guys. Not sure why. So, speed is a factor in these games, as it's calculating the turn order. So if you equip your guys with heavier armor as the game goes on, you can slow down quite a bit. And sometimes what just happened there will happen to you. Let's get some coins. Now we see Toad is trapped. Let's save some Toad. By the way, you don't have to save Toad. I'm pretty sure you can just continue walking, but I believe, if memory serves, he gives you something at the end of this battle. Alright, first level up. Mario reaches level 2. Level ups allow you to, 1, view your stats. So we have 25 health now, 23 attack, 2 defense, 12 magic attack, 4 magic defense. You get to choose a power-up. Power will make your attack and defense go up. HP will make your max HP go up. The star will increase your magic attack and defense. The way I always play Mario is this and a little bit of health. Not a lot of magic attack and defense, because there's an item later in the game that makes him incredibly powerful. Life was flashing before his eyes. Here's a little something in return. A honey syrup that is helpful for restoring our special points later on. It'll save us a trip back to level up. So this game had a whole bunch of trolly little enemies like that jump out. and will try to attack you when you're not aware. Unlike a game like Paper Mario, they don't get a surprise sneak attack on you, but they can interrupt you from doing things you were planning on doing. And that can be annoying. So you see these hidden parts that you can't necessarily see on the map. That'll come into play later. This game loved hiding secrets. Alright, now you see post level up, post taking that power up, we can one-hit those turtles, which is tremendous. Until we get our second party member. We are on our own and we need to survive on our own. Luckily, in this game, we get our second party member fairly quickly. So once you just get comfortable with this, sort of solo quest going on, you get a second person, albeit that he is relatively useless. Come here. We're going to go on a full-on murder spree because I like Mario to be somewhat leveled up. And it's a nice time for me to talk to you. So, as I've sort of gone through, I tremendously like making these Super Nintendo videos, these older games, cartridges. This one is not necessarily a cartridge, although it's based on a cartridge game that I tremendously enjoyed. Oh, flower. Flower increases your special ability. You want to find all of the flower items in the flower boxes on the map because they will allow you to execute more special attacks. Special attacks are really important for certain party members because they're fundamentally useless without them. So, we'll cut that out. Alright. Next up, Rescue Toad. So yeah, as I go through, I'm going to make more varied content from this point forward. Still bringing you some of the stuff that I see views hitting, but more of this, and also trying to show more of my personality. Flower tab! These things, these items you get throughout the game, flower tabs, are under your items tab until you use them. Until you put them on your flowers, you don't actually get the benefit of doing additional special attacks. Another trolley enemy. Alright, that's been cut out as well. Mushroom! Mushrooms recover you, like in every Mario game ever. Alright, we're gonna do the lazy man skip at this section. Alright, here we go. Spikies! This is another more advanced enemy. They have a little bit more health than your average enemy you've seen to date. They hit pretty hard. A good timed attack will come close to taking them out. An attack up will certainly help. That's another type of flower you can get. Again, exactly what it says. When I do this now, should one hit him. Almost 40 damage. That's pretty good. So we got some coins, we got some experience. Let's head to the boss. Alright, first boss of the game. Hey, are you looking at me? My hammer and I don't like you. It's good to know that there's some people who speak to hammers in the game. He's got a mean streak. Yep. Now you got my hammer angry. Oh, mental illness. Hammer time! Block it, block it, block it! Right there. No, not right there. Oh! Oh god! Block it! Yeah! Block it! Miss. Alright. So once you take out one of these guys, his brother essentially powers up, doubles down. So this is one of those parts of the game where it's sort of just an introduction. So you're not in really any major danger, although I only have 10 health left. I just need to keep an eye on that. If he keeps missing, I'll be absolutely fine. Hammer time. Stop! Hammer time! I have 5 health left. Oh god, I have 3 health left. Oh. Kill him! Kill him now! Oh god. Oh god. Oh, that is... Oh. Well, there's a cut right here. So, in another universe where I did not fly as close to the sun, here I am. showing you how you should probably tackle this. And by tackle it, I mean light it on fire. Yeah, so remember that part where I said other characters were essentially useless? I, have to remember that I'm like level 2. And I am fundamentally pretty useless right now. But there we go. So at the end of the battle, you get much more XP than a standard enemy, a bunch of coins, and a flower jar, which has a much more significant effect on your flower count. Also, we're about to get our first item of the game. The first item of the game is the hammer. The hammer is equipable to Mario. Mario is able to use it to mash enemies. It changes his base attack slightly and allows him to do more damage, which is wonderful. Because let's be honest, a Mario game where he's punching people in the face doesn't really make much damn sense. So, while Toad heads over to the Mushroom Kingdom, we are going to say goodbye for today. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. Thank you for joining us for the first episode of our new series on Super Mario RPG Legend of the 7 Stars. I hope you liked the video. Leave feedback below, comment, subscribe, etc., etc. Like us on Facebook, hit us up on Twitter at games_done_slow. We'll read all your feedback, and honestly, if there's something you want us to do different, let us know, and it will be taken under advisement. You have a lot of choices in entertainment, especially when it comes to YouTube, and I'm tremendously happy that you chose to spend this time with me. Thank you, and have a good night.